Today we're talking about a stock that is backed by NVIDIA, partnered with NVIDIA, and supplies a very specific chip and a solution to a very big problem to pretty much all data centers and server centers, as well as EVs, chargers, electronic devices worldwide with their proprietary technology. And the stock is down and pulled back a little bit. So right now is a pretty good opportunity to dollar cost average if you already have positions. And if you do not, now could be the time for you to start adding positions to your portfolio. We're talking about none other than Navitas. But before we get into Navitas and this huge and potentially massive opportunity, I want to tell you guys that my free masterclass webinar returns yet again this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Every student that's ever attended my webinars in the past say they've learned more in the 1 hour with me than anywhere else. You do not want to miss it. Very limited spots. Link is in the information box below. And guess what? And every single webinar, we have thousands and thousands of emails saying they cannot get into the webinar as we fill up very quickly. So once you miss the opportunity, it is gone. So register now. Link is below. I'll be answering your questions. I have a huge announcement. Let me show you what you're doing wrong in the market and help guide you to make the profits you're seeing on the screen right now. Students that attended previous webinars have joined my Discord and are making the profits that you've been seeing on the screen. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars in profits. Let me show you what you're doing wrong. Link to register is below. I look forward to seeing you on Friday. So we're talking about Navitas, and Vader says you should buy Navitas. Right, Vader? We're going to buy Navitas. So let's talk about Navitas. They solve a lot of problems, right, Vader? They solve a lot of problems. 800 volt VDC, and not only that, cooling and more efficiency for data centers and servers like NVIDIA and their Maxwell chips, AMD, as well as other chip makers around the world, including EV charging, battery charging for your cell phones, pretty much all electronics. They solve problems. But not only that, they are partnered and backed by NVIDIA. And the big part about this whole situation is that as long as the partnership with NVIDIA stays intact or even gets better, then Navitas is going to continue to go up with their current growth, most likely. So this is a pretty good investment overall. There's no investment that doesn't have risks, as every investment does. So be very cautious. Don't put any more than 10% into your portfolio, into one sector, one position like Navitas. But Navitas is a very strong company that solves problems worldwide, and it is the future of chipset servers and electronics with their SiC and GaN architecture. And it is pretty much proprietary and a niche market for them. And it's very important to understand what they solve or the problems they solve. And with the stock coming back down and pulling back into the $13 and $12 range, now is a buying opportunity. So let me show you exactly how we're going to do that. Should we show them how to dollar cost average? Vader, are we going to show him how to dollar cost average? Do I get a meow out of you? Okay. I guess he thinks we should dollar cost average. I'm going to show you guys that right now. Navitas is great, right? Do you think I should dollar cost average more? He's sleeping. He's bored. He's heard enough of Navitas over the last couple of days, right? No more Navitas. Oh, one more thing. Vader says to register for the webinar. Register for the webinar, right? This Friday. Right, Vader? Tell them. Register for the webinar. It's this Friday, the 26th, 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right, he's too tired. So right now we can see that Navitas has had a very big pullback from 1788, almost 18. And if you watched my previous videos, I told you guys that 18 was likely to happen, and it almost did within 20 cents, actually 19 cents, and then it pulled back. So we can see here the structure broke back here, but it did not break this structure until now. So we have a break of structure that has happened. We can see right there, and now it's trying to break this structure back here. And if it does, it'll go even lower than $13. If not, this could be the bottom. So I'm looking to add somewhere between 10 and 13. This $3 range is where we're going to be dollar cost averaging. I think the stock's going to settle in here and then maybe pull back a little bit more. A good target price would be like $11.50, but the idea is to dollar cost average. So if you add some here and it drops like this, you add more here, here, and here. And when it goes back up like this, your average is down here. The idea is to accumulate more shares, because 5,000 shares at 13 is better than 1,000 shares at 10. If the stock goes to $25, the 5,000 shares at 13 is going to be better than 1,000 shares at 10. That's a fact. So you have to understand that quantity is important as well as dollar cost averaging. So you adding little by little over time. Be very cautious though, as there's risk with every investment. But the fact that they're backed by NVIDIA and they're partnered with NVIDIA is very strong because their SiC and their GaN architecture, gallium nitride and silicon carbide, allow much better heat efficiency and power consumption, as well as cooler temperatures. And their 800 volts VDC is also extremely important to understand because basically proprietary tech, there's other companies that are competing in this department, but are they partnered with NVIDIA? No, they're not. Therefore, that is the big thing to think about. NVIDIA chose Navitas, which means they obviously understand the strength. However, as long as they do not drop Navitas and the partnership continues, then Navitas is a great investment. If the partnership drops, then potentially that could lead to some issues for Navitas, but that doesn't even necessarily mean it's bad. There's times when companies like NVIDIA partner with stocks and back them like this, and once they're on their feet, they just pull out their money and let the company fly on their own. So even that would not necessarily say that it's a problem for sure. It would just raise some flags. We'd have to really assess the situation, but it wouldn't necessarily mean anything definitively. It would just be more of a red flag to look at. We have broke the structure. We're in a small downtrend and consolidation. Now is the time to dollar cost average. I would be doing that. This stock, like I said, very good company. Let's understand what Navitas does even more. As NVIDIA drives transformation in AI infrastructure, we're proud to support this shift with advanced GaN and SiC power solutions that enable the efficiency, scalability, and reliability required to the next generational data centers, the CEO, Chris Alexandre, said in a statement, who is the CEO of Navitas. The company said its new devices will enable the 800-volt power that NVIDIA needs and has said it will power its next generation AI systems. These directly power IT racks, thereby eliminating the need for additional converters, Navitas said. According to the company, 800-volt direct architecture improves efficiency and scalability, as well as reduces copper usage. And as I explained many times before, copper is expensive, so we're reducing the copper, we're increasing the energy efficiency, we're increasing the cooling capability so everything runs cooler, just overall a better design. As the industry moves more rapidly towards megawatt scale AI computing platforms, the need for more efficient, scalable, and reliable power delivery becomes absolutely critical, said Alexandre. The transition from legacy 54-volt architectures to 800-volt VDC is not just evolutionary, it's transformational. This is a very critical component to this whole system and why Navitas is so powerful and such a good investment. There's always risks with every investment, so you have to be safe, but this is such a strong investment based on being backed by NVIDIA and partnered with NVIDIA and the products that they produce and the solution these chipsets are going to provide worldwide for EV chargers, car chargers, the EV market in general, chipsets, servers, graphics cards, and I own an RTX 5090 from NVIDIA, and I have a 4090 and a 4080 in another computer in another room. And they run hot, very hot. And you can only push them so far before they crash, power down, crash your computer, blue screen of death. It's very important to understand that these solutions could be abated with 800-volt VDC and SiC and GaN. So you could be seeing this in household computer products as well because of this technology, which this opens up the door, Pandora's box, the world. So much growth opportunity for Navitas. Think big on this. Navitas is a big solution to pretty big problems in longevity around the world in electronics and servers. And if they can create a nice footprint and get into the consumer market and the EV market with a very strong foothold, this will open up the doors for Navitas even more, which is what they're working on right now. Dollar cost averaging is your best friend. If you want to make the profits you're seeing on the screen right there, my masterclass webinar returns this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. You do not want to miss it. I'll be answering your questions and I'll be showing you the truth behind the stock market and why you're losing money. I have students that were in previous webinars that joined my Discord that are making these profits, going from losing positions or a $10,000 account all the way to $120,000 or $150,000 account in just a few months or less. It is possible. I have students like Josh who went from 300K to 1.2 million in just under a year, and you can do it too. Let me show you what you're doing wrong at the webinar this Friday. Link to register is below. Very limited spots at this webinar. Every single webinar, the attendees tell me they've learned more in the hour they spent with me than anywhere else. I have students that show up to every single webinar, so if you have questions, they'll be in there as well. I look forward to seeing you at the webinar, and every webinar I have thousands upon thousands of emails telling me they missed out in the registration, they cannot get into the webinar. We have limited spots. If you don't register now, you could miss out on this opportunity to change your game, to change your life, and to understand the market better. I want to help you achieve those goals. I look forward to seeing you at the webinar this Friday. Let's take action now. See you soon. One love, fam.